Praise God. Welcome to Just a Thought. So, for today's thought, we are going to focus on last chance or last hope. Oftentimes in our lives, we come through so many situations where we feel that is the end of the road or there is nowhere else to go and we cannot proceed any further. And we always wonder like how can we come out of this situation? God says there is always a last chance or a last hope. In Luke chapter 8, from verse 43 to 48, when we read, there we see a woman who is having some issues with blood, and she spent all her money on the physicians, and she could not get healed. Now, when all her money was spent and she couldn't rely on anything else, she just saw Jesus passing by. And if you read the verse before 42 on Luke chapter 8, verse 42, we see like people are thronging Jesus. So there is no way where she could go and talk to Jesus about her blood issues. So one thing which came to her mind was, if only I could touch the border of his clothes. That was the faith which she had. She had the faith of that little mustard seed. So, in between the crowd, she went inside and touched the border of his garment, and immediately her blood issue was stopped. Now, when she touched, Jesus knew the virtue inside him, it left his body. So he stopped there and asked, who touched me? And his disciples all said, so many people are touching you. How do we know who touched you? But Jesus knew there was one person who had some issue which touched him and got healed. And the woman, when she saw so many people, she wasn't scared. All she thought was, if I could touch, I could be healed. That was the only thought in her mind. This is what God is teaching us because many times when we see a lot of people who are surrounding us, we think we are scared, we are too much afraid to think, oh, should I talk about it or should I talk to God? What will people think? But this woman, she didn't care about all the people who's surrounding Jesus. All she thought was, if I could touch him, because that is the only way where I could get healed. All the money which I spent, it's not it's not going to heal me, but Jesus can heal me. That's the one thought. That's the last hope which she had. And when she touched it with that faith, she got healed. That was the biggest miracle which she had. And God said, be of good comfort. When she confessed she was the one who touched, Jesus said, be of good comfort and go in peace, and or you are healed. See, when we give ourselves to God and we focus like our last hope, only God can do, when all our ability, when it stops there and we trust in God, God is going to bring a big miracle in our lives. That is what happens in Luke 23 from verse 42 onwards. When we read, Jesus, when he was crucified between two thieves, and one of them was mocking him, but the other one said, God, you didn't do any mistake, but still they are crucifying you. Please forgive me. Because he felt that was his last hope. On the cross, he knew he was going to die, but only thing was he trusted in Jesus. He said, God, please, when you go to your kingdom, please do remember me. That was his last chance or last hope. That was his faith of a mustard seed. And Jesus told him, today you will be with me in paradise. God is telling us always trust in God. It's not our abilities or our capabilities or our finances or our degrees. It doesn't matter. When we submit ourselves fully in God, and that last chance or last hope, when we focus on God, God is saying He will heal you. He will come to he will give you the peace which you require. He will give you that confidence to overcome all the situations, whatever that may be, even it may be a big issue or a small one. But God is saying, trust in Him. And that last chance or last hope, God is wanting us to trust in Him. May God bless you with these words.